Hey everyone, it's Jamie from BestNerdLife. Here we are, at the end of 2020. I'm going to be releasing a couple of videos just reflecting on the year that has gone by. And this one is going to be talking about my favourite games of 2020. I do just want to mention that this video is all about my own opinion, and my favourite games of this year might not be the same as your favourite games of this year. But that's fantastic because everyone likes different things, right? With that being said, I'm not going to limit this list in any way. There can be remasters, remakes, there can be re-releases, they can be on one platform and then released on another one this year, there can be sequels, prequels, whatever. Anything is fair game in my opinion. So, without further ado, let's get going. First up, let's talk about Grounded. Now, I do know that this isn't like a full release, it's still in its like game preview part of its life, but I've really enjoyed this game throughout the time that it has been available. Whilst I'm not usually into kind of survival-esque games, this one just really caught my attention. I really dig the whole Honey, I Shrunk the Kid vibe that this game has. And I know this is going to sound really weird, but I like how mundane it is. Like, this whole game is like set in someone's backyard. You're fighting ladybirds and spiders and ants and one absolutely massive koi carp. But because you are so small, then these things are an actual threat. And I just really like that. The developers have been really inventive with the things they've included in this game. Obviously, because it is still in game preview, there's not a whole lot to do, like story-wise, kind of structured-wise. It's more of a, you create your own fun type of game at the moment. I don't know where they're going to be going with it. And the people creating this game have just spent so much time putting in new features, new things for us to explore, and basically just giving us new content every single month. This is great though, because I haven't been playing it all the time, but I do know that I can jump into it every few weeks, and more than likely there will be new things to explore, new things to discover, new enemies to fight, etc, etc. And overall, I just really enjoy supporting the developers whilst they're creating their game. Next up, let's talk about Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is a game series I've never really been invested in. I hadn't even played any of the games up until a few years ago when I played Animal Crossing on the Wii for a few minutes, maybe half an hour, and I just didn't get the appeal. I just didn't understand the whole point of the game. But you know what? This time around, I kind of bought into the hype. I'm not usually a guy who buys into the hype, but for Animal Crossing New Horizons, it kind of sucked me in. Seeing people online talking about it, and yeah, it just sucked me in. And I'm really glad that I experienced it. I didn't buy it at launch, I bought it a few weeks later. And because this year has been so very, very strange, I think I needed some kind of like grounding element, especially in the early parts of the year where things were so very, very like up in the air and quite stressful, and that kind of period in time that I'm talking about, at least in the UK. But Animal Crossing New Horizons just kind of grounded me. It was, again, quite mundane. If I was stressed out, I could just log onto this game and do some fishing and catch a bug or two and plant some flowers, and it was just relaxing, I guess. Something to take my mind off the situation. And yeah, I got sucked into it. Like I'm talking about every single day, waking up, going onto my island, doing a bit of stuff, and yeah, I was really sucked into it. I haven't actually played it in a couple of months because it kind of petered out for me, the appeal of it. But I am looking forward to playing it again, seeing like how my island has deteriorated and seeing if there's new things for me to do and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's definitely a game that keeps on giving. Okay, now let's talk about Resident Evil 3, the remake. This game has definitely got a bit of nostalgia wrapped up in it for me, because again, until recently, the only Resident Evil game that I had ever played was Resident Evil 3 the original, on the PlayStation 1. Eventually, my girlfriend persuaded me to play Resident Evil 2, the remake, and I absolutely adored that game. I really got hooked into it. And then because of that, I decided to play Resident Evil 7. I enjoyed that, but again, not as much as Resident Evil 2. So when Resident Evil 3, the remake, came out, I was very, very intrigued by it, and I played it, and I really, really enjoyed it. Now, it wasn't as good as Resident Evil 2, it wasn't as long either, but what we got was very, very compact, very action-filled, and action-orientated. And you know what? Nemesis is my favourite kind of horror game villain, if that makes sense. And it was really great to see him in this kind of high definition reality, looking menacing and slightly different to how he used to look. But put it this way, I like Nemesis so much that I even liked his appearance in the awful Resident Evil film that he featured in. Yeah, he's just a really intriguing character for me. I just really, really enjoyed seeing him and playing it and getting my butt kicked by him. I do wish, though, that they had spent less time on the weird multiplayer add-on thing that they released with it, and maybe put a little more time into the actual single-player game. But, you know, for what we got, I enjoyed it. Next up, I'm going to talk about Dragon Quest XI S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. Yes, that is an incredibly long title, but you know what? This game is so incredible. I cannot believe I haven't played it up until now. And there does seem to be a running theme in this video where I really enjoy games I've never really experienced before. In this case, with Dragon Quest, I haven't really played a Dragon Quest game since Dragon Warrior Monsters for the Game Boy in I think it was 2000 or something like that when it came out. So yeah, in actuality, I've never actually experienced a proper Dragon Quest game. And my goodness, this is an absolutely amazing title to be dropped into without having any previous experiences of the other ones. This game came out at the perfect time as well, because I have been burned very badly by the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I do not like that game at all. In short, I understand that the game is very good in some aspects, but I don't like the story, and I just really don't like the combat in it. And this is where Dragon Quest XI kind of barges its way into the room with. I really adore the whole kind of customization you can do with this game. Like, you can play the game in 3D, you can play it in 2D, which is great. For me, that's basically two games. Once I finish this game, because I'm partway through it in 3D, I'm gonna go back and play it in 2D because I want to see how it goes. Like, the events in the 3D version, I want to see in the 2D version. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with this because I'm gonna get lots and lots of time out of this game. Another aspect of Dragon Quest XI that I like is the kind of battle system and the customization you can do in that game. You can play around with the systems of this game and get it to a point where you have the maximum amount of fun with it. And for me, that's great. Because I want to have fun with my games, and I'm having so much fun with Dragon Quest XI. And finally, let's talk about my Game of the Year 2020. Yes, that's right. Doom Eternal is my Game of the Year 2020. I adore this game so very, very much. Aside from the fact that it looks absolutely fantastic, it is extremely fun. You feel like an absolute badass whatever you do. Whether you're running, jumping, swinging, shooting, slicing, ripping, tearing. The whole thing is just So very fun to play, you know? Sometimes you need to release some stress. You need to let go of the worries that you have in the real world. Sometimes I need to, catch some fish, talk to cute animals. And sometimes I just need to kill some demons, It's as simple as that. And this game lets me do that. It's also really satisfying to see the vision of the original developers, from Doom and Doom 2, realized in such high definition and with such a large amount of care. It's just really interesting to see how far gaming and technology have come in those years, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next 20 or 30 years. And yeah, that was me talking about my favourite games of 2020. Such a huge amount of games have come out this year that have been absolutely fantastic. And to be honest, I can't wait until 2021 because I'm sure there's going to be a whole boatload of fantastic video games that are coming out next year. In any case, if you enjoyed this video, then by all means, like, comment, subscribe, all that social media goodness. Even tell me the games that you think are your favourites this year. And as always, keep living that best nerd life.